think I've got no reason to give myself a right to share what I believe in. Ooh, they say I've got an issue.
I must admit, I was really a bad Limbo player in the past. Not because I don't know how to mod him, but I just don't know how to distinguish when to use a max range Limbo, and when to use a minimal range build. I always prefer a max range Limbo with overextended and stretch on my mod setup. However, players don't seem to like that setup always, and in fact, I always become an nuisance instead of an asset to a team in the past. So, if you are also wondering how to properly mod Limbo in specific missions, then let me share my knowledge based on my experience playing Limbo. Before I begin showing some build, I would just like to clarify that what I will be discussing here is a defensive type of build for Limbo. I have an offensive type build for this Warframe, but I will discuss that on another video. For now, let's focus on defense, or what I also call the lazy build for Limbo. Building a defensive Limbo is quite easy. You just need max duration and range for this setup. Yes, we always need duration for Limbo, but when it comes to range, it totally depends on the type of mission or even the team composition. For a max range Limbo, you can put overextended and stretch on this build, coupled with a bunch of duration mods. Streamline is actually a personal preference, and you can replace it with any other modders anyway. Limbo can regenerate his energy while on the rift, and this feature perfectly synergies well with Zanuric's energizing dash. Also, natural talent is a personal preference, as I always like my Limbo fast when it comes to casting his abilities. The question now is, when do you use max range Limbo? In my experience, a max range Limbo is quite useful in open area mission, but this still depends on the situation. It's safe to say that max range Limbo is really great when it comes to solo plays, as you are able to lock a large area and then you can stay on the center of Cataclysm to safely recast your ability once they run out. In addition, it's also good when you have Warframes that can work inside the rift. Say, if your team has an Excalibur, or a Mesa, or even Nidus that can efficiently utilize their abilities while in the rift. Lastly, a max range Limbo is a must if you are Eidolon hunting. A Limbo is a great replacement for Harrow or Oberon, as not only does he negates the magnetic damage, but he can also disable almost all the attacks of the Eidolons, not to mention that operators can shoot their void beams while on the rift. A max range Cataclysm is probably a safe haven for these types of situation, but remember, only these types of situations. Max range Limbo is quite good when facing Grineer and infested faction, but totally a waste when facing Orokins and Corpus. Why? It's because of those nullifiers. You will just be wasting your energy recasting your Cataclysm over and over again, as once a nullifier bubble touches your Cataclysm, it will disable it instantly. That's the main disadvantage of having a max range Limbo, and I really suggest not to go with it while facing these factions. In addition, there are some mission types that probably players would love you to bring a minimal range Limbo. Take for example the Kuvo Endless mission, which requires you to defend just a single extractor one at a time. Limbo with a minimal range build is really great for this type of mission, as your teammates can freely move and do what they want while you are sitting and taking care of the Kuvo extractor. So for the minimal range build, you just take away all range mods and focus on your duration. Now this build will give your Cataclysm a 10 meters area. It may be small in paper, but it's actually good enough. And don't worry, as this circle can defend Kuvo extractor. Minimal range are not only good for Kuvo Endless mission, but it's also good in mobile defense and as well as defense mission. The area of Cataclysm is just large enough to defend something, and you wouldn't have any problem finishing your mission with this kind of setup. Lastly, there's a certain defense in Sortie that will task you to defend a moving target. This build with tons of duration is also perfect for that type of mission, but we won't be using the Cataclysm plus Stasis combo on the defense target. Instead, we will be using Limbo's Vanish ability to take the operative to the rift. Limbo is really a master of defense. Just be mindful that not all players want to go in Limbo Wonderland. They prefer using their guns also to kill enemies and not just rely on their melee weapons, which is why I suggest that you mod your Limbo right for a specific type of mission, and not end up like me being called a scrub or even worse because of always using the max range variation of Limbo. I just hope that you find this video useful and informative. And so, we have reached again the end of my video. I hope to see you again on my next one. Now I have a couple of request video, but I think I will be discussing a platinum guide on my next video. I will be featuring how I usually acquire platinum fast when I was just starting the game. So, make sure to watch out for it, especially if you just started playing Warframe. Like always, please do give this video a like if you find it helpful and fun. For those who are new to this channel, you can join the Grind team by subscribing to our channel. Just remember to ring that bell so you can receive daily Warframe updates from your squad leader. Thank you so much for watching. Squad leader signing off.